Comeback revenge seasons to finally silence the doubters. 2022 Andrew Wiggins, the perfect example of excelling and maximizing his skill set, being the second best player on a championship team. As for 2023, Wiggins back to his relaxing ways, which goes to show a super talented player can become a valuable asset, utilizing his skill set immensely with the right team and culture. Weeks before the All-Star break, many players already come a long way from months ago, playing some of their very best basketball, not only reviving their careers when there were some doubts and uncertainty. Those questions have been answered, starting with Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. After a super long layoff, 539 total days to be exact, a brutal 18-month process, Bubble Murray seemed like an eternity ago, especially given many young players in the past never looked the same since touring their ACL. Minutes restrictions first 20 games, Denver didn't have a great start, 17.5 points, just 5 assists on 43% shooting, but slowly blossom. An explanation: cold-blooded game winner versus Portland, slowly game by game build up, reminding the player he's capable of. Since January 9th, last 13 games really come a long way, shining at the perfect time, a comfortable lead on top of the Western Conference. Numbers over 26 points, made some late noise as a possible All-Star reserve, with two-time MVP teammate Jokic playing his best basketball now with quality starters. Murray reclaiming his status as the number 2 guy, understands his role within the team. His biggest improvement this season, the playmaking, encouraging signs as a wing closer, showing his athleticism, reminding us he's capable of throwing down a couple nice jams, leaving us no doubt he could become a first-time All-Star next season or two if he remains healthy. Aaron Gordon, once viewed as a bust and underachiever, wasted young years with Orlando, drafted 4th overall the 2014 draft, only recognized for his dunk contest display, viewed as an Amari Stoudemire type athletic prodigy, couldn't work out with the Magic. The athleticism didn't translate to winning the games. Unsure what position he wanted at 6'8", 235, was then viewed as an afterthought after barely showing any promising signs. Play lost out there, out of position, but after trading for Gary Harris and playing with the best passer in the game, Jokic allowed the athletic Gordon to drive, able to use his speed, cut to the rim for easy baskets, finally has a real identity, playing the best ball of his career for a 1 seed as the second best player on his team many nights, nearly 17-7, much improved passer, terrific defender. After trying to take and miss many terrible off-balance shots with Orlando, where he shot only 45% there, nearly 58% from the field on this season, also became a deadly screener, setting picks for the two-time MVP, the perfect front court complement, bully smaller guys, and tasked with guarding the likes of LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. Gordon does whatever it takes to win, describes himself as a Swiss Army knife, surrounded by the right team, a good culture, better players, simply comes a long way. Went from trying to be the man and taking it upon himself to now playing some of the most unselfish basketball ever formed from any team. Denver had an 18-3 stretch, playing the best offense and 8th best defense, super drilled about the improvements. If he made the All-Star team, he would have entered the dunk contest, which unfortunately he didn't. Everybody finally learning what type of player Gordon truly is. Julius Randle, who deserves tons of respect after a truly awful, terrible last season, maybe the most frustrating player to cheer for in a major market. Just 9 months ago, every Knicks fans were begging to get rid of their emotional power forward. After the Atlanta series, it seemed like his confidence went down the window. 2021 looked like the biggest one-year wonder. His insanity run appeared to be short-lived, but the 6'8" power forward, on and off, still makes boneheaded decisions, especially in crunch time, but competes defensively, boxes out, fights through screens because the Knicks are winning more than losing. He's been pretty durable, playing heavy minutes, not low managing like other stars. Randle's availability in today's NBA, combined with his grueling style of play, deserves tons of credit. Being able to bounce back like this and becoming an All-Star again, most Knicks fans were pessimistic about Randle's performance. Time to time, he will still frustrate fans with his decisions, but New York wouldn't be where they are without his excellent play. Zach Collins, shown plenty of growth as a role player, now 25 years old, finally fully healthy, leaving his 3-injury season drought behind, from 11 games played to missing the entire 2021 campaign to just 23 games last season. Similar to Jonathan Isaac, protects his teammates, didn't retaliate when getting into it with Russ Westbrook. Back then, Collins would have reacted like he was about to swing. A low-risk, high-reward guy, San Antonio paying him under $8 million for the year, the right price from somebody who went missing, and many not knowing whether he was out the NBA. A tough energy guy, great to have on your team, but but annoying to go up against. From nobody to somebody, strong IQ, good roll man, pick and pop threat with solid footwork, the soft floaters. Also an underrated passer, proven vital in a couple years if he plays for a contender, learning to foul a little less on defense, good versatility, one of the better backup centers in the game. Dennis Smith Jr., huge salute to the 25-year-old who has serious intentions trying out for the NFL if his NBA career didn't pan out. The former 9th pick of the 2017 class, still 25 years young, consider a make or break season. If Smith Jr. didn't play well the first couple weeks, might have already been out the league for good. Work heavily to improve his game and the outside shooting. From being put in a tough spot, Rick Carlisle not trusting him, Dallas basically shoved him out the door after Luka's emergence, to being booed by Knicks fans, preferring Frank Ntilikina, Frank likely out the NBA next season and producing less so far. Having to appreciate the hunger and preparation was not on any team's days before training came, to locking up Steph Curry the final possession just weeks later. A new opportunity in the right time comes a long way. Love to see it. Killian Hayes, from considered the worst player in the league to decent, the 21-year-old had no choice with the absence of Cade Cunningham. From taking 7th overall in the 2020 draft to having the worst analytical numbers, considered bust even by Piston fans who wanted him out before he was even 21. Had an amazing game down the stretch versus the Mavs, proves why he's a true playmaker. Adding Bogdanovic and Alec Burks opened up plenty of opportunities. Improved shooter, still has a future with the Pistons. Dennis Schroeder of the LA Lakers, from nobody wanting to sign him, made the worst decision of his career, turning down $84 million only to settle for under 6 and underachieving to making just 1.8, an absolute travesty. Super undervalued, Lakers got a huge steal at a reasonable price given Westbrook's disastrous contracts. A dog on defense, plays hard. The legendary comeback versus the Grizzlies will forever be one of his greatest highlights. Some thought he was on his way out the league going overseas. A huge part for the Lakers, still near 500, otherwise they'd be 10 games below that without Schroeder, making the best of his opportunities with purple and gold. Can't blame him too much since he's not getting the heavy Benjamins. Lauri Markkanen, absolutely spectacular on all levels. Right now, the Jazz wouldn't even give up the Finland sensation for Rudy Gobert. The 25-year-old, a career year, 25 a game, 9 rebounds, 52, 43, and 87 shooting splits, confidence through the roof, dunking on guys, fearless. Utah's supposed to be one of the worst teams. Another example of a talented player now finally put on the right team, right position to excel. Didn't get enough credit his first 2 seasons, the height of the Bulls' dysfunction. Jim Boylen made Markkanen just a spot-up shooter. Since he's 7 feet, Markkanen excels playing most of the 3, used to be forced to guard true centers. Bulls killed his confidence. They just let him go for Derrick Jones Jr., a pick, and then been under the radar, viewed as just an okay player since, being a modern style forward, while Jim Boylen was the opposite of a modern style coach. Playing for the national team helped Markkanen's growth, mentally in the right state of mind, on his way to becoming a multiple-time All-Star if he continues playing this way. Bo, from being labeled bust and criticized about his work ethic, the 7'2" power forward averaged 11 and 6, playing 24 minutes for a rebuilding Bright Magic team. After being super limited with the Nuggets, a disastrous 2.7 points in just 6 minutes, from viewed upon as the next doll maker to now a poor man's version of Wembanyama, super raw, the length and handles leading to easy dunks and transitions, plus the block shots, his first real run in the NBA. 3 full seasons of practicing, strength training, and watching film helped prepare him for this season. Had he still been in Denver, wouldn't see the floor. Still a work in progress, the 23-year-old still ways to go. If Orlando can continue building chemistry, they'll enjoy the luxury of paying Bo just $2.2 million in 2024. Afterwards, lots of decisions to be made. Markelle Fultz, one of the more quiet former #1 picks in recent times, being the starting point guard with a super young and coming team, the perfect situation he can ever end up in. Had all the time in the world to heal from past injuries, get things right with his shoulder after being hounded to get his game together with the Sixers, to forcing to get rid of him. Still injury prone despite missing over 20 games this season already. His 6th year in the league, the 2nd most games he's ever played in a season. Numbers of over 12 and 5.5 assists. 50% from the field, very promising for the 24-year-old, more valuable to the Magic by far than the pathetic Ben Simmons on the Brooklyn Nets. I'd take Fultz over the aloof Simmons for the next 5 years, a great mover of the ball, not super ball dominant, allows his team to shine, good playmaker, a solid mid-range shot, will have to work on his 3 to take his game to the next level, having an organization believing in him. Markelle likely never be the superstar many believed him to be, but prime numbers of 18 points, 8 assists as a third or fourth option, a win for the Magic franchise. Thanks so much for watching this video. Which one of these players did you give up on and thought was finished? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.